actually said goodbye to my daughter that day, just in case I didn't come home. One of my most impressive stunts is that I did the Houdini water tank, but I was hung by my ankles and I was in a straitjacket with a real straitjacket with duct tape over my mouth and chains on my body. And it was for a TV show, CSI New York. And it was with Chris Angel. He's an illusionist and he had a TV show called The Mind Freak. And so he was torturing me. And most people that see it, well, it was really funny how I got the job too, because, you know, when I said yes, they went, really? Wait, should I know something? The day of we were shooting, the crew was like, you were the only one that said yes. And I said, I didn't have a lot of information at the time. So it was tough. And I actually said goodbye to my daughter that day. So it was.
Which of course you did.
I
Spoiler
did.
alert.
And here, I guess that's what we get paid for, to risk our lives and put it on film.
But that's, I mean, you see it on the TV and now you've done it. Can we ask how you get out? Are we allowed to ask?
Well, so I was in and out of the tank all day. So Lieutenant Dan, Gary Sinise, he was on the show. And I say, Lieutenant Dan saved me. So he's the cop in the show and he shoots the tank. And so there was no safe way for me to fall because my arms were bound and I would have broken my neck if I had fallen on my head. And so they did use a dummy yes, I was a dummy too, but a different dummy. They used a mannequin, a dummy, to fall out because all the glass breaks. And that was definitely real glass. It would have been hard not to get cut. So it was very dangerous to do that practically, as we say. So they did it practically with the dummy. But there was one point, so they were pulling me in and out all day and they wrapped me. And I actually played the character. So I was on camera as well. I played his foster mother that was torturing him. And so he, decades later, decided to get back at me and kill me. And so they wrapped me and they're like, Dailyn's done. Thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, good. I get to go get dry. And it was a tough day. And then Gary walks in and goes, well, I don't think I can get a clean shot on the tank. So can we send her back in and have her crumple at the bottom? And so for the wide shots, we had rigged a little hookah line, but for the most part, it was just my breath. But we put like a little scuba, hookah line. The regulator was in my mouth, or actually it was behind me. And so I had this little plastic tube in my mouth that was hidden under the duct tape and the regulator was behind me. And then there was a line that went all the way through my wardrobe, through my pants and out the tank. And so they dropped me back in. I crumple at the bottom, I'm on my head, basically crumpled like I'm dead. And they're shooting and I go to take a little sip of air and I can't get any air. And my distress signal is my feet because I don't have arms to say help or anything like that. And so my distress signal is my feet. And I'm like, do I tell them to pull me out? If I have to get pulled out, I have to go back in. And I was so done. I was like, please just get me out of this tank. I'm so done. And so again, I take another little sip of air and I'm like, yep, Gary, shoot the tank. And so thankfully they got the shot and they pulled me out. But that was a little disconcerting because I forgot to mention that I had like 40 pounds of dive weight belts on me, dive belt weights on me to make sure that I wouldn't float. The straitjacket was actual canvas and very buoyant and it filled with water. And so it would kind of float me to the edge of the tank. And so they weighted me. And if they had to revive me, and they ended up putting real chains on me. So they had these little breakaway chains and then the chains floated. So they put the real chains and Chris is like wrapping them around my neck and padlocking me. And I'm looking at my safety guy like, okay, what's happening right now? And Chris is like, it's fine. I've done this before. I'm like, dude, I'm a stunt woman. I'm not a magician. Like, this is ridiculous. And so had they had to revive me, if something had gone wrong, it would have been really tough because trying to get the straitjacket, they would have had to have like a dive knife or something to be able to cut through it and break the chains. And hopefully somebody had the padlock key. And so it was, but
risky.
I'm here to tell the tale.